Okay, we are back, everybody, for session 3 of the Grey Jedi. And last we left off, we had barely escaped the Mos Eisley garrison. I found a slicer named Bren, and he cracked the dying clone's dated ship and gave me the first name, Quin Vex, on the planet Voltar. And the decryption triggered an Imperial lockdown. We fought our way through the market, blew a hole in the street, reached the Vesper, but of course, my past caught up with me. Grakko the Trandoshan crime boss sent his bounty hunters, and they found us at the docking bay. I punched the thrusters, broke atmosphere, and so now we are in orbit. Proximity alarms are screaming from the dash. 3 of Grakko's ships block the vector towards deep space, and there are like red laser fire streaks, and the Vesper shudders as bolts graze the shields. I grip the yoke. Bren scrambles into the co-pilot seat and stares wide-eyed at the sensor readout. And I look at Bren. This is your fault. And it's time to fly. So we're going to go. We are going to. We definitely have to enter the fray again, and we have to weave through like any of Tatooine's like orbital debris. You got to outrun these their targeting computers, stuff like that. So let's see. We're gonna add this progress. Escape Grakko's hunters. We're adding that in. It's going to be dangerous, and so we're adding that in now. Okay, so we're just trying to escape, and whatever method that finds itself, or however that, let's see, there's 3 of them. Have to escape them. I don't want to charge at them. Okay, let's enter the fray. We are on the move, so I'm going to be rolling plus edge. Okay, let's see how well this goes. I only have a +1 in edge, so we're rolling with edge. Let's see, enter in the fray. Oh, weak hit. Okay, weak hit, choose one, take +2 momentum, or stay in control. Definitely staying in control. Okay, so I'm staying in control. So we, successfully seized initiative. So we're flying in, there's like orbital junk, and we're trying to like force the hunters to maybe break formation. So I can take the offensive here. So I think we're going to, I can either strike or gain ground. So I shove the throttle forward, the Vesper jolts, and then you could feel like the inertia of it like presses my spine hard into the pilot seat, and Bren's head gets thrown back. And so we could see dead satellites, kind of rusted freighter husks of old ships, and I pilot the ship straight into the debris field as like still red laser bolts are streaking past the viewport. One kind of grazes. Bren grips his console. You see his cybernetic hand, knuckles white. I jerk the yoke left, and we bank hard around a shell of like an old bulk transport. And the lead Trandoshan ship struggles to match the tight turn. It pulls up to avoid crashing into the transport's hull, and the targeting locks. Let's see. Maybe our targeting locks, maybe, then go silent. We'll see. But for now, I'm going to say we broke their line of sight. We still haven't escaped yet, right? Because I still have the progress. But we have a brief opening before they sweep the other side of the wreckage. So we're going to... I'm going to yell... Oh, I'm going to have Bren help me. I'm going to yell for Bren. He's going to use his slicer tech, scramble the hunters like localized scanners. I'm going to keep them blind while we try to plot like a hyperspace jump and get out of here. But for right now... I'm going to secure an advantage. I'm using Bren's help. So let's see if this guy can help at all. Let's see, secure an advantage. Oh, that's a miss. Okay. I think Bren, this guy, do I want to keep Bren? I don't know. This guy's not helpful at all. I think it's a miss. We fail. I think he's still freaked out. Like Bren over on the side is like white knuckled, sitting in the passenger seat or whatever next to me, and just absolutely frozen. And trying to speak to him, and nothing. I'm not getting anything from him. Okay, fine. I'll have to do it myself. So we're going to try to gain ground as I'm gonna actually, you know what? Okay, that's not working. Shift of plans. We're going to cut the main thrusters. We're going to drift silently. there's a large ruined transport that our ship can float inside of. So silently into this open cargo bay and use this like large metallic shell to hide any like heat signatures or anything like that, hopefully to the best of our ability. And let's see how that works. So I'm going to gain ground and I'm going to roll in with shadow because we're trying to be sneaky. And if I have any, I don't have any like, I realized I could have used my Gray Jedi asset. I did not use it. It's okay. I have my fugitive path is back to empty because I did escape before. So I could use it, but I do not. I don't want to use it so quickly. Okay. Let's do this. Rolling plus shadow. Let's go. Oh no. That's a miss. I'm keeping the miss. I could use the fugitive, but they're already after me. This is why the fugitive path kicked off this is why I'm in the fight, because of this fugitive asset. Using it so much. So, oh my gosh. And that. So on a miss, your foe gains the upper hand, the fight moves to a new location, or you encounter new peril. I am now in a bad spot and must pay the price. I think immediately, I know for sure they find us. I'm going to lose like integrity from the ship for sure. As the ship takes damage, as they find us, all three of Grakko's men, or whoever is in the ship, find us, and red streaking lights, and they shoot, and I'm gonna lose 1 integrity for the starship. Now I can withstand damage. There is a move called, and after I suffer that -1 integrity, I can choose to either roll plus integrity to resist the damage, which could restore the point, or give me a momentum on a hit. Either way, I'm still in a bad spot and need to react to the hunter's assault. So I am going to, let's roll with withstand damage. I don't think I've done that. I believe it's a suffer move. So I will roll plus integrity and we'll see. So weak hit. So if your vehicle's not battered, you may lose in exchange for +1 integrity. So I'll lose 1 momentum. I'll do that. And then the integrity goes back up. So, yeah. Okay, so what happens is, so I cut the main thrusters. The Vesper goes quiet. The inertia carries us into this gaping cargo bay. And I kill the exterior lights, primary sensors, and we drift in the dark. Bren grips the armrest. His breath still coming out in like short, ragged gasps. Useless. Absolutely useless, this guy. Will you help me? We'll see if he can help me in the future, but we'll worry about him later. Then a heavy thud. I'm going to say rattles our hull. Red lights flash, and the hunters did not lose our trail. There is a concentrated laser blast. It pierces the transport's dead shell and strikes against us. And sparks shower from overhead, and there's a smell of like burnt wiring. And then you can see the lead hunter ship swoops past the viewport. It's banking hard for another run, and we are boxed inside the wreckage. We're in a bad spot, so we have to react under fire. So what I'm going to do is punch the throttle and blast out of the transport's cargo doors before the hunters trap me completely. So we are definitely under fire right now. I would use more force stuff, but can you use the force like while I'm flying? I don't know. We're relying on our ship, so maybe when we upgrade, we can like upgrade the ship, make it really cool. But for right now, we're just gonna punch the throttle, try to get out of here. So that is react under fire, and I'm gonna roll plus edge because we are fleeing. Let's go. Oh, it's a miss. You know what? This is what momentum is for. I'm burning momentum for a weak hit. It's a weak hit, so you avoid the worst. But not without a cost. Make a suffer move. You stay in a bad spot. So we avoid the worst of the damage. Make a suffer move. I think once again they hit the ship. Yeah, the ship integrity. I think before, to resist the damage, I think we had some backup like bots on the ship or some type of technology to help patch the ship quickly, especially during fights like this. And then They kept shooting. It's just a barrage of fire, and the starship integrity goes down once again. So we successfully blasted out of the transport, avoiding the worst, but we are still in a bad spot. Bad spot. We have to continue to make like reactive, like defensive moves until we can seize control. And so I slam the throttle forward, engines roar, the Vesper shoots towards the open cargo bay doors, and red laser fire strikes the shell as we pass through. Shrapnel clatters against our hull, and the impact throws me against the restraints, and we burst out and back into the black of Tatooine's orbit. And so we're out of the trap, but of course we did not lose them. I haven't even made progress yet because it's just been weak hits and misses. So we see 2 of the ships drop, flank us, and they have missile locks. Bren is bracing his cybernetic hand, jaw clenched. We got a clash. You can only clash or react under fire. How about let's see. I think I can use some force, right? Some of my force powers, because I see that they are there. I'm gonna reach out with the force to kinetically grip the incoming missiles the second they launch. I'm gonna redirect them off course. Is that possible? Has it ever been done in Star Wars? I don't know, but I'm gonna try and do it anyway. Okay, so I am a gray Jedi. I walk the line between light and dark, okay? So the Force is all things, and I have my kinetic abilities that can come into play, so I'm going to use this. When I draw on my powers to make a move, I can add a +2, but I do lose 2 momentum because I am reacting under fire. Okay, let's go. Rolling. Oh, that is a weak hit. I have Fugitive. It could be a strong hit. Ugh, I'll never get rid of these guys. You know what? I'm going to use Fugitive, and I'm going to make it a strong hit. So, just going to roll again, just to see, this is a strong... You guys, that's hilarious. I just needed to see what a strong hit was real quick, and I still got a weak hit. React under fire. There we go. On a strong hit, you succeed on in control, take +1 momentum. There we go. Okay. Okay, so the Trandoshan ships, they drop, they launch their missiles, and you can see the trail streak across the space, and my proximity alarms are shrieking, and I drop my right hand from the yoke, thrust my palm toward the viewport, and I reach out, I grip the warheads with the force, and the vibration of this all is like humming in my teeth. I pull my arm hard to the left, and the missiles veer off course, and they bank sharply into the flight path of one of the flanking hunters, and the pilot jerks their ship to avoid the strike, and then you could see the missile slams into the husk of a dead satellite. An explosion happens, flashes bright white, debris is peppering the area, forcing them to break formation. And now we still are just trying to escape. I don't want to fight them. But we do need to put some distance between us. Again, I think just like slamming the thrusters. These weak hits are not... We're going to try to gain ground. So we are going to slam the thrusters and try to just surge out of this gravity well. Put some distance between us. So let's go. Oh, okay, finally. That is a weak hit. I'll take it. You stay in control, but I can only choose one. Of course, I got a mark in progress. Oh my gosh. Okay, so because it is dangerous, that is 2. Oh my god, finally a mark in progress. So happy. Okay. So I put some distance between us, shove the throttle to the stops, and engines whine, and the Vesper kind of shakes as we tear out of here. And the ships are falling behind. They kind of struggle to navigate, and we have a momentary lead, but their sensors ping still hit our deflector shield. So I could tell they're calculating our trajectory, where we at. Tried to yell at Bryn before, he's no help. So let's see. Let's actually try to... let's fire at them. We're going to route power to our cannons, fire back into to the debris field and try to cripple their engines. Let's go. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to strike. We are in a good spot. Not a good spot. In control. And we are going to roll. Let's go. Wow. Love a weak hit. More than a miss. Love it more than a miss. But okay, so it's a weak hit, so we mark progress twice, but we expose ourselves to danger, and we're back in a bad spot. Okay, so we mark progress twice. We're about 60% of the way through this progress, so we're almost out of here, and we're getting really close, but we are back in a bad spot. I think shifted the ship around. So we land that blow, but it puts us right back in the line of fire. So we lose the initiative and have to make, again, defensive moves. I'm not going to take decisive action because doing that in a bad spot is highly dangerous. So we do need to shake, like this final hunter. I'm going to say like one is gone. At least one of them is gone. So route the power to the cannons. Targeting computer chimes, press the firing button, and twin blast shred through the debris field. And then the bolt strikes the lead Trandoshan ship, and it detonates. The hunter spins violently out of control, and it creates a shockwave. I jerk the yoke towards me. The Vesper groans, and we clear. But this evasive maneuver like kind of slows our speed a lot, and that second ship drops right on our tail, and we are caught in their crosshairs, and they are not backing down. So I'm gonna say we're going to brace for impact. We do need to get out of a bad spot before we take decisive action and try to end this thing. So we're gonna, reroute all power to our shields, absorb any incoming laser barrage, so we can keep that hyperdrive charging, all that. So let's react under fire, as we love to do. We really need a strong hit. A strong hit is the only way to get out of the bad spot we are in. And that, it's a weak hit. So I think the shield hold enough to keep our hyperdrive charging, but the sheer force of the impact damages the Vesper even more. Their integrity goes down to 3. But I'm gonna roll to resist damage. And see how that goes, or withstand it. And so you roll plus 3. You roll plus the integrity of the ship. So let's see how that goes. Weak hit, lose momentum, but I can gain. So my momentum will go down to 0, but I do gain that integrity back. But yeah, so the hunters fire heavy barrage, hammers the Vesper, and we survive, but they have locked onto our trail. And the jump coordinates to Voltar are calculated. We just need a clear second. We just need one clear second to punch it. But the Trandoshan is already cycling their cannons for another pass at us. We're going to not take decisive action. We're going to react under fire as this final Trandoshan is racing after us, and we're going to reach out with the Force again, and we're going to project like a terrifying illusion, something fake, into the pilot's mind. I want to make them flinch, lose their target lock. I'm messing with their mind. I'm using like a Jedi mind trick, as it were. Okay, let's go. Jedi mind trick. Yes, strong hit. Oh, you succeed, are in control, take +1 momentum. Yes. Okay, so I do now have a solid chance to successfully end the fight and jump to hyperspace right now. I have a 6 out of 10. But with the way that I've been rolling, I want to kind of risk sticking around to build the progress higher for a safer roll. So close my eyes, reach out with the Force, and push, and find the mind of the pilot, thrust a vision into their head. And it's a massive bulk transport drifting directly into their flight path. So I project an image of a huge ship coming to crash into them, and you could see the pilot panics and the ship jerks hard, and they spin away into the debris field. Open my eyes, and the space ahead is clear. Hyperdrive is fully charged and locked on the coordinates of Voltar. We are going to gain ground for sure. Let's try it. Let's go gain ground. We're going to keep the throttle pinned, navigate out of like any extra like debris filled completely, and just to ensure we have, you know, pristine conditions before pulling the hyperdrive lever. So let's do that. Let's go. Oh, weak hit. Okay. Weak hit on gain ground. You stay in control. You mark 1. I'm going to mark progress, of course. So mark progress. That was a weak hit. Okay, so this is, now it's time to take decisive action. We're seizing our objective right now in this fight. So we are in control. So we will check the results as normal, but if we were in a bad spot, the results would be bad. So I think this is where I would use my fugitive path again to make it a strong hit, because we've got to get out of here. Even a weak hit is better, but we'll see. I only use it if it's a miss, but let's see it. So I have 8 out of 10, and now it's just I'm making that progress roll. I need the 2d10 to be lower than an 8. I need both of them to be lower than an 8. So now I'm going to roll. Let's see. Come on. Yes! That's a strong hit. Okay, strong hit, you prevail. Take plus on momentum. And no objectives remain. So the fight does not continue. We are out of here. The objective was to escape Grakko's hunters, and we did. Okay, so we are safe in the hyperspace. Lane to Voltar. Keep the throttle pinned. The Vesper shoots past the last jagged chunk of satellite, and we break completely clear of this orbital junkyard. And deep space opens up ahead. Everything falls silent. I grip the hyperdrive lever, pull it back. And as usual, classic Star Wars fashion, stars stretch into the long white lines. And, you know, the hull smooths out after violently shaking because of that. And the ship hums quietly. As this dogfight is over, I release the yoke. And I lean back in the pilot seat and just exhale. Finally, look over at Bren. He's slumped against his console, takes a shaky breath. You see wipes sweat from his forehead. Looks over, and then he looks at me, kind of like waiting for me to speak. And I'm going to talk to Bren. So what kind of trouble were you in on Tatooine before I hired you? Before I asked for your help? Bren looks sweaty and nervous. He sees his eyes darting side to side. And first I'm rolling gather information. Let's see what he says. Or let's see what I get, actually. Oh, it's a miss. This guy's a clam. It's a miss. Well, actually, he says something, but it unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest. As Bren kind of avoids my eyes, stares at the lights on the comms console, he said, he tells me, I owed Grakko credits. Yeah, but I owed him because I got caught slicing his private network. Grakko runs bounties for the ISB. A week ago, I intercepted a priority Imperial transmission, and an Inquisitor is operating in this sector. They're hunting a rogue clone trooper who stole a restricted data chip. And then Bren points a metal finger at my pocket. And when you handed me that chip in the cantina, I recognized the encryption. And so the second it decrypted this person's location, it broadcasted the coordinates straight to the Inquisitor's network. And I tried to burn the circuit to stop the transmission, but I failed. And now the Empire knows about Voltar, and the Inquisitor is coming. And that is what Bren tells me. When he finally speaks, this is the information he gives. Okay, Bren. So I wanted to go this route because, again, my fugitive path, I am hunted by a power or authority, and I already filled it out once. So it's no longer Grakko's people. It is likely this Inquisitor. And of course, you want to run away from every Inquisitor. You do not want to fight an Inquisitor. I'm going to grab Bren. Because this information is crazy. I'm going to grab Bren by the jacket. I demand, why didn't you tell me this before we left Tatooine? And I'm going to compel because I'm trying to, intimidate the guy. Why didn't you tell me this? So it is a weak hit, so they'll do what you want or agree to your conditions, but it comes with a demand or complication. So I do get +1 momentum. So I lunge out of my seat, grab him by the collar, and he grabs my wrist with a cybernetic hand, and he says, I didn't have a choice. If I told you, you would have left me on Tatooine. Grakko would have skinned me. I thought I could purge the routing protocol in transit, but I couldn't. I'm sorry. He shoves me away, steps back, straightens his jacket. He said, you have my answer. I'm sorry, but I used you to get off world. But I am not walking onto Voltar empty-handed with an Inquisitor bound. Please give me a blaster. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die shooting at least. Or how do you use one of those? I don't think he knows how to use one. But I will agree to his terms. I'm going to hand him a spare blaster from the weapons locker. And now we have a formal working agreement, I think. Let's do it. I'm going to agree to his terms. And let's make a connection with Bren. It's tenuous, but let's make a connection. Okay, so we're going to make a connection, and a strong hit, we create one. On a miss, you don't make a connection, and the situation worsens. With the way that I've been rolling, it could be a complete miss, and maybe I'm not supposed to be connected to Bren, because this guy kind of sucks. Okay, but he is helpful sometimes. So we're going to make a connection, okay? We are rolling plus heart. I can't use any of my mind tricks or, anything like that. I mean, I could, but let's see. Rolling plus heart. Let's go. Oh my God. You guys, did you see that? That's all 2s. That was all 2s. That is a strong hit with the match. Oh my gosh. I didn't get any of it during the fight, but guess when I got it? Oh, when it's time to make a connection with Bren. Perfect. Oh my gosh. So, whenever your connection aids you on a move closely associated with that roll, you can add +1 and take +1 momentum on a hit. So, let's make that connection. It is Bren the Slicer. I think it's funny that, his name is Bren, sounds like bread, and he's a slicer, slice bread. Ugh, that was my dad joke of the day, everybody. If you could laugh in the comments, I would appreciate it. Okay. We're gonna rank him dangerous. So whenever Bren aids us on, slicing or tech, it's gonna be great. Gonna be helpful. Okay, so as the ship is humming, I stare at Bren and I turn to, secure locker, punch a code, I pull out a blaster pistol, I toss it to him. Metal clacks as he catches the weapon with this cybernetic hand, and he checks the power pack, clicks the safety, slots the blaster into his jacket, and he looks up at me and nods. And this was a strong hit with a match. I think that the tension kind of eases out of his shoulders, and we have a deal. He turns back to the comm console, and he immediately, his fingers fly across the keys. And he says, I owe you for getting me off Tatooine. The tracking ping went out, but I just isolated the routing protocol. Okay? I bounced the return signal off a defunct relay in the mid-rim. So, if and when the Inquisitor drops out of hyperspace, they will be on the exact opposite side of the Voltar system. Okay, so we at least have a head start. And so, that is what he tells me, which is really great. Finally, helpful. So, let's see, we drop out of hyperspace at Voltar, and we are finally here. I'm going to... Actually, you know what? I'm going to grab my toolkit. I'm going to head to the engine room. I'm trying to patch the damaged, conduits while we have this quiet time. So let's do that. We're going to hit repair and see if we can do it. Going to use all the supply I got. Yay, that's a strong hit. Okay. You gain repair points as appropriate to the situation below. We are in the field, so we get 3 points. So you can spend repair points. Clear the battered impact for 2, fix one broken module, take +1 integrity. I mean, that's basically all we need, is just +1 integrity. And repair any other device. I don't have any other devices for right now, so on my sheet, my spirit is also at 3, so what I'm going to do is take this time to find a moment of peace, but also, just meditate as well. So that is what I'm going to do. I leave Bren in the front here. I let him know that I need just a few minutes of quiet before we fully head into Voltar to center myself. So I head to my sleeping quarters, and I sit down in front of the bed, cross my legs, close my eyes, and center myself, and only hear the sound of space, the hum of the ship, and focus on my breathing. And I'm going to try to hearten. And hopefully it's not a miss, of course, but let's go. Oh my god, that's a miss, you guys. Miss. It's a miss. You know what? I'm going to use my fugitive path. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to use it for here. It's okay. Spirit stays at 3. Nerves are still a little rattled, knowing that an Inquisitor is on the way. So about 15-20 minutes pass. Still a little rattled, but I don't think Bren will notice. We are going to drop out of hyperspace as I sit back down in the cockpit. And we are going to run a type of planetary scan to pinpoint Kieran Vex's exact coordinates before the Empire arrives. Because they are certainly on their way. And I have help from Bren as well, because we have that connection now. I'm going to use my Grey Jedi path as well, as I'm going to gather information, trust my instincts a little bit more too. And I think this is fitting because whoever I'm searching for, there's some type of connection here, whoever these people are. So using the Force actually makes a lot of sense here. And so I'm going to roll with heart, actually. And we'll see how it goes. Okay, strong hit. Yes. On a hit, I could take +1 momentum on both of the assets that I used. You discover something helpful and specific. The path you follow or action you must take is clear. And then I can take +2 momentum. Perfect. So, as the planet Voltar kind of hangs before us, we run this kind of deep penetration scan, and there is like the heavy Force resonance. And I see Bren taps his hand, the console with the metal hand, and he routes the data through like filters and things like that. And he isolates the type of power signature. And it matches a Republic like distress beacon. And it's broadcasting from, looks like a deep, massive, cracked stone temple. And Bren says, "They're down there." I push the yoke forward, the Vesper dives into the atmosphere, and we break through the clouds. And there are giant stone pillars that pierce the dense, like, jungle canopy here. Okay, so that is where we are going to end this play session. We escaped Tatooine, piloted the Vesper through the debris and Trandoshan fighters. We got a connection with Bren and figuring out what's really going on, gave Bren a weapon, and we arrived at Voltar. And I think this is a good spot to end episode 3 as we get closer and closer to our end goal of finding the 5 survivors on the dying clone troopers list before the Inquisitor does. And so, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening if you did, and I will see you in the next one.